sometimes commentators will try to like say something about it, and you might not even be on stream for that match. Like they may just say like, oh, like this player went 2-0, and like you don't even get any sort of like information about yourself. So I think it's really valuable for people who want to try and improve when they do have matches on stream to maybe go back and watch their VODs, because it is something that's so helpful, and it's just a great experience, especially when you are on stream and they talk about you a bit, because like it's such a good learning experience. So it's pretty fun.
All right, looks like Luxray strikes Smashville to get started with. So Smashville is down.
It's out of here.
Yep. I mean, you know, at the end of it, I think he always wants to go to PS2 if he gets a chance.
Oh, of course.
To. Yeah.
Which is so interesting to me, because I know Luxray, I mean, he's an all-around, like, talented player, but, like, I was playing, actually, the other day with my friend, Thugnificent, who had played in a couple of these tournaments in the past, and so I was playing Incineroar, and it's just so hard to move, like, around on PS2 just due to how slow his initial dash is.
Yeah.
And, like, it can be a pain, whereas I was playing on small battlefield, and I felt so much more mobile due to the platforms. And like I always like jokingly wonder like, how could you like move around on such a big stage? I feel like I'll just get run around. But I think that if he's comfortable with it, it's still just a great stage, because besides like the layout, the atmosphere of it is just so fun.
Oh, a Mewtwo! We haven't seen
sick.
this. This is definitely always cool. This is why I try to make sure I catch our new guys, because they bring something new to the table, man. Super excited to see how he does today.
Yeah, and so Eliot Silent, I think I'll just call him Silent today, but he pulled out the Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo from Smash 4 is kind of gutted. He was really good in that game just due to how, the way the game worked with air dodging. In Smash 4, you could essentially always push the dodge button and essentially teleport. Your entire hitbox would just go away.
Okay.
And then you could teleport with his actual up B teleport.
Up B teleport, yeah.
And so it made him very mobile compared to a lot of characters in that game where they were a bit more vulnerable. And this game, his hitbox doesn't have that luxury. And so you're a big hitbox, you're very light, you're about Kirby and Sephiroth weight, and you're also very floaty. And so combined, you make for a very easy juggling target, which I think is the idea behind this Falco pick. Is that Falco is super good with his hitboxes with that up tilt into up air or nair. And you're just going to see lots of damage racked up for Luxray, I think. Especially on a stage as small as small battlefield. Because for me, at least, I've noticed that, wow, this is really dominated. For me, what I've noticed with the meta for Mewtwo in this game seems to be way more passive, because Mewtwo's animation for when he dashes, his tail is so extended, like it's very straight. And so when you try to run away from somebody, your tail is still where you like would have been if you stood still, like once you start running away, because of how long it is. And so even if, like, let's say you try to be aggressive and then dash back and then like do an attack, you're so big that you'll always get caught even when you're running away. And so you have to play very passive with these shadow balls like Eliot is doing now.
Yeah.
But the reflector in this matchup I think is very valuable for Luxray. So I can understand why he's not doing that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's damaging.
Watch that reflect. Yep.
Oh, nice stall there with the confusion. Really cool move. It's actually a command grab that also reflects. So you can't shield it. It'll actually throw you into tumble. And then Mewtwo can like use a forward aerial or like a shadow ball or something afterwards and kind of follow up with a really cool looking combo. But we're not going to see that now. Nice DI to get away from the up throw laser, because that can kill at higher percents. It's just you have to be really high in percent. Mewtwo though, he has some decent smash attacks. He's got a really good down smash, a really good scooping up smash, but what we're seeing is a good nair coming out from Luxray, ending that first game.
Had enough already?
All right, Luxray NYC up 1-0. Oh, and it looks like I must have just went up another server level. It's about time, man. That level 26 was hard to come by, man. That level 26 was not easy to come by.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those level ups take so long once you get into the double digits. And like it's really cool, especially when just users in general get that high, because it just shows that whether you're the owner or just a member, like you're very active, and so it's a lot of work put in.
Yep. I have to go through. We were playing, I think this week. Yeah, so this week we did Street Fighter. We did Street Fighter's our version of the champs and challengers there. We did platinum and lower, and I think you were tuning into that as well, weren't you, Cherry?
Yeah, I actually, it was so interesting to watch because I'm very new to Street Fighter. That was like I'm aware of like some of the older games because I used to watch them. But I actually just purchased it yesterday after finding out on your stream that it has crossplay, and that was enough for me to purchase it because I was just like, it's only $8 on Steam right now through PC. And on top of that, like being able to play with friends on like other platforms as well as maybe compete in a couple of your tournaments would be really fun at some point in the future. And I'm having a great time. I'm a poison main, so I've been whipping and throwing fireballs and stuff. It's been really fun. It was a good tournament yesterday though.
All right, so it looks like they're going through stage strikes, and it looks like Luxray is saying he's going to ban Battlefield, Smashville, and Town and City. And it looks like Eliot has fallen on something, but we'll see in just a sec. Looks like Luxray has a change. All right. I thought we were on the move, but it's all good. We'll see how it goes. Everybody knows Cherry is the best commentator. Look at that. You're getting some really good. You're getting some really great updates.
That feels good.
Yeah, you know.
I'm the people's man.
Yeah. Now, funny enough, we had to Mike. I think Mike this week is trying to get himself ready. He's trying to pace himself for the State Street Showdown that he'll be also commentating as well. I know we've got a couple of schedule changes, so I don't want to misrepresent or incorrectly announce anything that's coming on with that. So
yeah, I understand that completely.
yeah, because I'll say, "Oh yeah, man, we're having all of that," and people will hold me to it. So
yeah, it's a lot. And I know, like, my personal, like, I've hosted, I remember at one point I was competing and commentating, like, in 4 different tournaments in a day once. And so basically I was competing in 2. And then for one of those tournaments, I also commentated. And then I was also doing my own tournament series online. And it was just it's so energy draining. Like, even just commentating in maybe 2 or, like, even 1 for a long time, like maybe 4 or 5 hours. And I understand that completely. You have to pace yourself on it.
all right, looks like we've got a Falco and a Pichu. We're getting all types of surprises. Let's hop into the full game.
So exciting. This reminds me of like really early Smash Ultimate meta. Pichu before nerfs, like pre-patch Pichu as they call it, was so good. Way better than Pichu, or Pikachu rather, or any other character that had ever been released in recent memory. It was the meta at that time was Pichu as #1, then Wolf, and they thought Ike was really good for a bit because of NKLeo just dominating the scene with him. And eventually being dominated by a couple other Pichu players. Pichu's strengths essentially were just being so fast, smaller than Pikachu, which is already really small, more damage output, and at the time, Pichu did way less damage to themselves.
To itself, yeah.
Whereas now, they had nerfed Pichu by making their forward tilt less damaging. It sends you far less with knockback. And on top of that, the up B now does 8 damage per movement. So like, let's say you go up and to the right, that's 16 damage every time you recover. So you can imagine how fast that might rack up if you keep getting hit off stage.
Yeah.
And even now, while I think that this, is it Eliot? Is that how you pronounce it? Or is it?
It's still Eliot.
Oh, Eliot.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking it's a different? I'm looking at
Because he's got capital letters. Yeah, no, it could be confusing. But right now, he's off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that Pichu's size and his speed were what kind of were hurting Luxray, because Eliot was really doing well with those combos. Like, he really seems to know Pichu stuff, and it's something that a lot of players, they might hear me talk and they're like, oh wow, Pichu was a good character at one point. I could probably like pick him up and perform better than my current character. And it's like, so you have to remember that Pichu's small and quick, but he's the lightest character in the game, and he's kind of hard to play. Like, you have to, like, you're damaging yourself, and also just you have to play really well, because on top of that self-damage, people can still hit you. And so, Eliot's doing a great job with what he is doing. He's doing the traditional chew bread and butters, which are essentially just those up tilts, those up airs, as well as just trying to also get some down tilts into grab and back airs in. A lot of his moves can have like that drag down effect where you'll be doing a multi-hit area like that back air or forward air, and you can actually like push downward and then cancel it early and pull them down with you. And it's really technical stuff if you're a bit newer to Smash, but it's not too hard to learn, and it's really fun to do so. But we're seeing Luxray. I think the one thing that's also hurting with Falco is that Falco's run speed on the ground is a bit slow, and his aerial speed is not much better. And so Luxray, when he is trying to get a hit on or a kill on Eliot, he really has to commit to something big when Eliot seems like he's going to approach, because otherwise, when he misses, if he tries to keep chasing, he's just gonna start getting camped by T-Jolts or more combos from Eliot with a really max rage Pichu once you get to those like triple digits.
Okay.
But it's pretty close, I would say. I think that even at 30%, Eliot is going to still damage himself as soon as he throws out like an electric hitbox, which is the way it works, because you'll see sometimes those nairs or the up airs may not do any damage, and that's just because they have no electric properties. But even now at 44%, it's possible that Eliot may just start like trying to do too many hitboxes at once, trying to throw out too many moves. And as we're seeing, that lead is just kind of dwindling itself. And that's kind of become the way to beat Pichu, even if the opponent is a bit more skilled than you.
Oh, wow.
And look at that. And that's what I was saying. That's like, he died at 60 from an F-Smash. And that's just due to the weight. But it was that was actually some crazy flubbing at the end. They both were rolling behind each other at least twice, like right here. They were rolling, and then Pichu gets himself to about 30-40%. Being the lightest character in the game does have its issues, and so you'll see both still rolling, very scared of each other, trying to respect everything, but misses the grab there, and then gets a bit too close for comfort and loses his stock. Good stuff to both players. I think that at the end, Eliot just kind of he got a bit too nervous. He had the lead in terms of percent. He could have taken a second to kind of notice that Luxray himself was playing a bit scared, trying to roll through and trying to avoid as much as he could any sort of Pichu grab or down air. And in the future, I think that all he needs to do, Eliot, to improve his game is just play a little slower, because that was an early stock take, but it was definitely not a bad performance for, I think, his first showing.
Also, really quickly, RP4, if you're still in the chat, I've got a match for you here.